The topic for this week is fluency in reading, obviously. Fluency, we already know that is really essential and necessary if we want to get accuracy and speed and also reading comprehension when we're reading. I can read accurately with expression and understand what I read. This is fluency when we're talking about reading. When we're talking about speaking, it's just to talk fast. This is what comes to your mind when you listen to fluency. But here it's read accurately and with expression and also understanding what you are reading. So three components that are essential with this ability, this skill. There are three dimensions of reading comprehension, right? So when talking about fluency, the first one is accuracy, the ability to identify most words correctly. This is the essential and important. When we are reading, when we have accuracy, that ability, it's when we can identify the words and we can pronounce it correctly. Okay? Then automaticity. It's the ability to recognize words repeatedly and effortlessly, saving mental energy for comprehension. Basically, we can read fast, but we can do it automatically. We read, and even when we have a word that is complicated, maybe technical word, we can do it, or we can recognize it and do it without effort. We can read and we can do it fast, and we can be able to pronounce that word correctly because we can understand it and we can identify it. Then we have prosody. Prosody is the ability to read with expression, to support understanding, and to convey meaning of others. The prosody is expression. When we read, sometimes when we were in high school or when we were in middle school, when we read, we say, the apple is red. So that's not prosody. If we do it with expression, it means that we need to be accurate of punctuation marks, for example, periods or exclamation or question marks that indicates that you have to change your words. You have to change the way of reading that word. Maybe sometimes you have to increase the pitch of your tone of voice. Sometimes you have to download the pitch of your voice. So it will depend. And you read it with flow. You read it with really nice tone of voice. So these three components are what fluency is about. Accuracy, identify words correctly, automatically. It's to do it without effort. You can identify the words and you try to pronounce it in the way that it's correctly. And prosody is read with expression without losing the flow of the reading. And the fluency 4 adds P-A-R-E. P is for pay attention to punctuation. Obviously, when we are reading, we have a lot of punctuation marks. As I said, exclamation marks, questions, periods, dashes, and etc. And every single expression, it represents something. A is for accuracy. Accuracy counts as read each word correctly. So accuracy is that you have to pronounce and you have to identify each word correctly. R, it's read at the right rate, not too slow and not too fast. Okay, you have to read obviously fast with fluency, but not completely fast, omitting or eliminating words. It's not that the purpose. You have to read fast, but not too fast, no fast and furious. And E is for vary your voice. Okay, you have to change the way you use your voice. Sometimes you have to high the speed, sometimes you have to lower your speed, sometimes you have to do it with expression. It will depend of the type of reading, it will depend on the punctuation. So you have to pay attention to those 4 elements. And this is an example of a practice to develop fluency. We cannot read a paragraph or a novel or a poem without doing a single word practice first. This is the first type of fluency exercise, and I'm going to show you how to do it. It's a word speed practice. Basically, you have some rows here with words. They are different. Sometimes you can notice that they can be repeated during the rows. But the thing is, you have to do it in 1 minute. Try to do it with accuracy and with expression too. Not eliminated the words. You have to pronounce it each one correctly. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to finish this. Obviously not in 1 minute, but I would try to do it in the way that it's correct. Between often, every few, might, carry, only, example, follow, marry, change, other, often, many, follow, children, people, only, might, few, enough, picture, other, there, family, every, please, between, point, example, example, point, people, please, every. So as you can see, I do it fast, but I don't eliminate the words. I try to pronounce each one of the words correctly, and taking the time and the tone and the expression that it's correct. So this is basically what you have to do with the activity. I'm going to assign two pages with this single words practice of fluency, and after doing this you have to take your time and do this formula in order to calculate your reading fluency. It says the formula expresses in this way: the total number of words read minus the number of errors that you did, it's equal to the words correct per minute. For example, it says if a student reads 66 words, so that's the number of words that you read in a minute. Okay, you have to take your time and you read 66 words, but you have 8 errors. What do you have to do? You have to do this type of formula, of this math formula, in order to have the words correct per minute. So if you do this 66 minus 8, you have 58 words correct per minute. The same example here. If I read 114 words minus 20 errors that I made, I have 94 words per minute. This is basically what you have to do. Read the words, take the time 1 minute, and you have to make marks of the words that you think you pronounce incorrectly, that you pronounce wrongly, and then you have to do this math formula in order to get the idea of your reading fluency. Okay, so this is basically what fluency in reading is about.